On this week's show, join me for a multi-species fishing adventure at Branches Seine River Lodge in Sunset Country, Ontario. We're talking some great fall fishing in surroundings that are absolutely gorgeous.
Hey, I've been fishing in Ontario for well over 40 years and have some great fishing memories, not to mention some very close friends. Ontario has some of the best multi-species freshwater fishing in the world. Ontario has a special place in my heart. The Ontario experience captures all of this and more as hosts Troy Linder and Sjodin explore new places, meet some authentic characters, and experience world-class fishing and hunting along the way. The Ontario experience is the next best thing to going on the adventure yourself, and who knows, this unique show just might give you some ideas for your next fishing or hunting trip.
One of the great things about Branches Seine River Lodge is it's only a 2-hour hop, skip, and jump across the Minnesota border. Of course, there are the comfortable accommodations too, and the homey atmosphere and the incredible cuisine, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's really a top-notch destination, no matter how you slice it. And the beauty of the area is simply unparalleled, especially in the fall. It's called Sunset Country for a good reason. All right, you ready, Darcy?
All ready to go catch some walleye.
Walleyes, it's gonna be a multi-species deal this week, I have a feeling. You guys got pretty much everything you can ask for in this lake.
Pretty much.
There we go, that's a better fish. A little better. Oh yeah.
We need a nap.
No, it's a bass. There. Seine River is well known for smallmouth. Al Linder and Dan Linder from my office were up here last spring and absolutely pounded smallmouth.
What are you throwing?
Jerkbait.
X-Wrap, good. When we're looking, there ain't a better thing you could throw.
You know that the water temperature is around 65, so we know that those smallmouth are in and around that spawn time, and Al and I have opted to choose secondary points. So when you take a look at this map, you got a main lake, then you got the main point that sticks out into the main lake. Then you got secondary points. We're starting from those secondary points and working our way back, because that's where we think the smallmouth are going to be spawning. And nothing works better playing show and tell than a jerkbait like that, because the fish will come up, take a peek at it, and you'll know they're around, and then you can slow down if you want to.
Got him. Oh. Oh. Dano, Dano.
You got him on the tubesy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Nice fish.
Boy,
nice fish.
Solar powered. Look at that guy rip.
I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. You know, that tube, that's one of the baits that smallmouth fishermen gotta have all the time. In fact, it's probably the most universal producing soft bait for smallmouth all year long. You don't go anywhere, anywhere without a tube on if you're a smallmouth fisherman. Two favorite baits for me, the most consistent baits probably in a year that I keep on a rod all the time for smallmouth. It's a tube and an X-Wrap. Those two baits, if I'm smallmouth fishing any time of the year, they're on. You know, we're learning this lake, like we said this morning, we've never been here before. And with all the wood and everything, we're kind of cautious how we're moving around through here, but where Branch is located is perfect for what we're doing. The lodge is sitting in the middle of the lake, basically between two dams. And there's a number of lakes that make up the system with narrows and current between it. A lot of interesting water, but they're sitting in a perfect location, you know, where you can go any way you want in the lake. That's a neat thing. So we picked one direction today. Yeah, you know, tomorrow we're gonna go in the other direction and get a feel for it.
This segment is brought to you by Tourism Northern Ontario.
There we go. I got him.
You got a double.
Oh, yeah,
Mine's
there he
a
goes.
pike.
Look at that.
No, mine got a good
Look
small
at this one.
Good, double.
Look at that.
Double. Oh,
Nice.
look at that.
That's Canadian fishing, right?
Yeah, look at that.
Big brown swirlers.
Double header. Who's got the biggest one?
I don't know. I think I do. I deserve it. Isn't that fun? Boy, that is tough to beat, man.
Oh, man.
Tough to
I got to
beat.
get mine in the boat here.
Okay, you get yours in.
I got to come back and check you out. I don't know if yours is bigger or not. I got a feeling I'm going to acquiesce to him. Whoop. Come here, baby. Yeah, his is bigger. You don't even have to pull him. I'm going to give it to you.
Look at that,
Let me measure up.
Beautiful, man.
Oh, you got me. You got
by
me.
a little bit, by a hair. Hey, you want some fantastic fishing? You got to come up to Branches, you know, in Sunset Country in Northwest Ontario, and you can have, you know, days like this.
But these things, obviously, we're up here in the fall right now. They bite year round, and they are so fun to catch. Actually, just started on our first spot, looking for walleyes. Look there. Not a giant, but you know what? It's a nice little smallmouth, good little start. Started on this first spot looking for walleyes. This time of year, smallmouth are mixed right in. So super cool start, Darcy. Sweet. Darcy's getting us on the fish right away. There she goes. Like I was saying, we're up here in the fall. The fishing in the fall, for me, Darcy, is so much fun because you're catching everything. Walleyes, smallmouth. I think we're gonna try to go after crappies and maybe some perch. And I know that there's a spot out here that's got some really big northerns too.
Yes, we're gonna go for one.
Super cool. Again, fall fishing in Ontario. It's really tough to beat. Good start. It's a good start.
You were farting around that whole time I was marking fish.
Oh, I know you were. Look at this. Just as you say that. This one's got a little more juice to it. Maybe we'll net it. Oh yeah, walleye. Actually, a flipper. Look at this. First walleye of the day. Sweet. Actually, a nice eater size.
Perfect, yep.
I think they probably get bigger in here as well, but this is a good start to our walleyes. Actually got here a little bit ago, caught a nice smallmouth, and now we're on to walleyes. There, Seine River. Branches. If you're gonna eat walleyes, that's the size to eat right there. Perfect. Can't beat that, right? This lake is full of smallmouth, walleyes. I heard there's some big pike in here too. Crappies and even perch. I think there's probably a few other species too. This lake's got everything in it. So does it have lake trout in it too?
The only thing basically there isn't is lake trout and muskie. It's pretty well everything else.
There's a couple that apparently that aren't in the system, but there's plenty of others. So we'll let this one go and catch another one. On the board, walleyes. Sweet walleye. You know what, we're up here, we're gonna try to fish for as many species as Seine River has. So far we've got smallmouth and now a walleye. I was using my all-time favorite jigging wraps. I love that all year long, especially midsummer to fall. It's great bait. Caught a couple real small ones, lost a nice smallmouth. Caught a smallmouth, but I switched to this ripping wrap. 2 minutes, it's like boom. Already had one. He's like, I got fish down there, switched, got it down there right away. So you just really need to bring a few different selections from jigging wraps to, you know, crankbaits, plastics, jigs obviously are a mainstay for Canada. Jigging minnow, jigging plastics, they're all great baits for walleyes and smallmouth and pretty much everything we're gonna fish this week. Even pike love plastics, right? So bring a nice selection of baits. You don't know what they're gonna be biting on. Right now we're in a fall pattern. They're really transitioning to different spots. Their feeding patterns are different, so you really need to pack a number of different things when you're coming up here to Ontario. Branches Seine River Lodge's accommodations are incredibly comfortable, and the food is truly top-notch, from fried walleye to barbecued ribs.
The camp's been here since the early 1930s. It was kind of hewn out of the local logs. We don't know exactly who started it, but my parents had an opportunity to purchase it in the late 60s in 1967. They bought it at that time. It was a train-in camp. Highway 11 had just gone through a couple years earlier, so there was new things happening, new tourists coming to the region. My dad put a road in right after they bought it, so it became a drive-in camp. But it was pretty rustic for several years. It was basically 3 cabins and a small lodge where they did the cooking. Over the years, they gradually did improvements to the point where, you know, we'd add running water, we'd add electricity. Every year there was a little bit of incremental creature comforts added to the facility.
The lodge was an addition this summer, and it accommodated up to 24 people for meals, probably a few more if we get more bookings for that. We've had groups come in and, you know, play cribbage in here in the evening and just enjoy the beautiful view and the sunsets that we get here. And hopefully we'll be able to view some beautiful northern lights from this location too.
This segment is brought to you by Go Fish, Ontario, Canada. There we go. Got him! Got him, Darcy. Walleye, 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 walleye. Seems now, it's really changing now. So I mean, typically you can come out here and use artificials, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna put on a minnow. And all I'm doing is just lifting it 3-4 inches and just barely jiggling a little bit, dropping it, keep repeating. Seriously, it's been two minutes. I did that right away, walleye. Didn't take long. Changed to a minnow. Seems that's what they want. I actually downsized as well. I'm at like a 1/8 ounce jig. That way I can just lift it, barely lift it. Again, jiggle a few times and let it drop again. And they really want it downsized. They don't want anything moving real fast right now. It's fall right now. Everything is cooled down. Typically they get a little more aggressive, but for some reason, these fish still are in that mode where they want something real simple, real easy in front of their face, not moving real fast. That's okay, we can do that.
Always fine too.
Fish on! Darcy! Got us on the walleyes, buddy! Another one for the box. Oh, that's a perfect shore lunch walleye, Darcy.
Nice.
But I tell you what, it's pretty interesting. Right now, it's like electronics or sonar is super important, obviously. So every time I see a fish on there, I get ready, and all I'm doing is lifting it slightly, jigging it a couple times. But actually, that time, all I did was drop it to the bottom, and he was on there. So the fishing has picked up. And this is why you come up to Northwest Ontario, Sunset Country, in October, because it's like hot biting. It's like fish after fish after fish. You find out what the program is, and it's lights out. There's so many fish down there. We're going through tons of fish, and now that we figured out what they want, it's been no problem catching these things one after the other. There we go. Fish on.
Ontario and walleye fishing go hand in hand. Fact is, Ontario waters offer more opportunities for walleye numbers and size than anywhere else in the world. Here's a question for you. What is Ontario's provincial record for the largest walleye ever caught? 19.5 pounds? 22.25 pounds? 21.5? Or even 20 pounds? We'll give you a moment to think it over and have the answer when we come back. So what's the Ontario record for the largest walleye? If you guessed 22.25 pounds, you're right on. On May 26, 1943, angler Pat Noon caught a walleye on the Niagara River near Fort Erie, Ontario. It measured 36 inches long, 21 inches in girth, and weighed a whopping 22.25 pounds. Definitely a fish to beat, which some anglers are taking to heart. Just have a look at this massive fish caught north of Dryden, Ontario in 2016 by angler Crab Turand. Crab's fish measured 34.5 inches by 22 inches and was estimated at 22 pounds. Even better, it was released to fight another day.
There we go. Yeah. Darcy's got us on the fish. This one feels a little better. Oh yeah, that's a keeper. Woo! Darcy's got us on the walleyes. Change techniques, find what they want to eat. And right now it's just something really easy. Great walleye. You know what, we're gonna keep a few of these for shore lunch.
Yeah.
Put a few in the box.
Yep.
Sweet, one for the box, one for shore lunch. Hey Darcy, you guys on fish, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been guiding? How long have you been with Branches Seine River Lodge?
Guiding for 12 years now and been at Branches for 5 years, but 3 years full-time guiding.
So you love it?
Love it.
There we go. Another walleye, walleye, walleye. Another one for the box. Look at that.
Good job.
Just a cookie cutter shore lunch walleye. Look at that. Sweet. We are on the program now. Great for the pan. So a beautiful part about being up here when we are right now, we're actually up here in the first week of October, is not only get to do some of the best fishing, but you also get to do some hunting. We're up here doing some grouse hunting, so it's a cast and blast, catching walleyes. We're gonna try to go after some pike. We already got some smallmouth bass. Where else can you do that? Sunset Country, Northwest Ontario, Branches, Seine River Lodge. Oh my gosh, the fish have picked up. Another one for Lori's fish fry. Tomorrow night, fish fry. I heard they're historic. She puts on a nice fish fry.
Yes, we have a good one. Onion rings, fish, beans.
You know what, it's making me hungry just thinking about it. There's nothing like an Ontario shore lunch in my opinion. It's making me hungry thinking about it right now. There we go. Just went over some fish and another beautiful Seine River walleye for the fish fry. It's actually that's probably a perfect size walleye right there.
That's perfect, yeah.
Last one now. It's all about catching, releasing. We got enough for a fish fry. Now it's just one fish after another. Having fun, catching and releasing. We got enough for a meal. Watch this, Pete. I let him suck on it that time. Another walleye. Look at those. These are just beautiful fish. Look how golden they are. So, for whatever reason, they're really lethargic. They're not just hammering it. I actually gave that one a 2 count before I set the hook, and he had it buried. I've been missing a few before that, so kind of got him figured out though. We got enough for the shore lunch. Start releasing these things. If catching the walleyes wasn't fun enough in itself, keeping some eater-sized fish in the box sure had my appetite piqued. And I was definitely looking forward to Branch's famous fish fry for supper. You know, there's really no substitute for fish, potatoes, beans, and all the fixing prepared by folks like Quint and Lori who do it day in and day out. It's simply some of the best fried fish I've ever had. I'm up here in Sunset Country of Ontario, a great place to come up and get grouse. In fact, we got our limit today. I want to show you a great way to prepare grouse, my favorite way by far. And it's really simple. So you take the breasts out of the grouse, right? Super simple again. Take it out, and this is really all you have left. Really no waste at all. My favorite way to do it is the simplest way. It's something my parents taught me when I was a kid. I still love it today. It's definitely my favorite game bird to eat by far. So let me show you, again, a simple way to prepare it. It takes 5 minutes. So let's get this started. All it is, throw some butter in a hot pan. Take breasts. It's just this is the same stuff I use for cooking fish, just a fish batter of whatever like, I mean, I fish Fry Magic or Shoreline. It doesn't really matter. It's more about getting the seasoning in there. But just get a little bit of seasoning in water is what I prefer, because if you use egg, it gets just way too thick and overbearing. So just roll it in the batter and throw in the hot butter. It's not grease, it's not oil, it's butter. So I mean, that's kind of, right, it seems unhealthy, but again, it's super delicious. So again, maybe takes you 5 minutes. You're cooking it over a medium heat. This is your finished product. You know, when I was a kid in Minnesota, and I'm still from there, but when I was younger, the grouse population was on an all-time high. We don't have that population anymore, and that's why I come up to Sunset Country of Ontario, because the population is through the roof. It literally took us till noon today to get our limit, which is 5. But the end product is this. Oh man. That's why I come up here, because I need more of this. Grouse is by far my favorite game bird to eat. So good.